You heard of these movie things?
Yeah. What's up with that?
You take some cellophane and some Mr. Cellophane, celluloid. They're all made of the same stuff. And you shine a light through it.
Yeah.
And you get a picture.
Yeah.
And you got the pictures.
the Nickelodeon.
Pictures that are film pictures.
Yes.
In theaters.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That is what it is.
I'm Steven Spielberg. Actually, I can do it. I'm Steven Spielberg. I got a hat on. And he was mad in 2019 because Netflix has gone too far. They're doing too well. And he's got to compete with Netflix movies at the Oscars. And he urged the Academy to bar streaming entertainment from awards consideration.
He did. I remember that.
Just this week.
Oh, boy.
Or last week, technically. Steven Spielberg's Amblin Partners company signed a huge deal with Netflix to develop content.
Guess who's eating their words now?
Yeah, well, he certainly is.
Yeah.
And spitting out new words, which are on the company line.
Of course.
Saying, hey, I'm so excited to make these movies now. That's by Spielberg. So, what happened?
Yeah. Is he the original YouTuber that's like pounding with a fist in the hand, like, hey, what's up? These are my movies.
No, I just do that for everything now.
Oh, okay.
Jesus was on the mount, and he's like, what's up? Blessed are the peacemakers.
Oh, my goodness.
Shout out to my peacemakers. Smash that like and subscribe.
No.
Okay, sorry.
I don't want to hear that. That's disturbing.
This is a symptom of the change in Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Look at Paramount Plus. They're killing it, I guess. I don't know. I just watched Star Trek on it. Disney Plus, HBO Max, all these other things. That's where the stuff is.
Yes.
People are cutting deals left and right, with these streaming services. Plus, the shaky theater business. I mean, what do you expect?
As of right now, yeah.
So I'm sure that he didn't make this decision himself. It is his company, although he is the de facto head of it.
He's got to be involved
I feel like
somehow.
there was Steven, come in, shut the door, have a seat.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what we're going to do now.
I think so.
It's not that bad, Steven.
No.
You can still do the same things you always do.
Come on in. The water's fine.
You can direct Tom Hanks to do something, and he'll just be on a computer instead of on a big screen.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I, for one, am glad that he was forced to do this because he is still a vital creator.
He is.
Well, the Post, maybe not that vital, but he's still one of our greatest filmmakers, and it would be a shame to not see him come along.
I agree.
If Scorsese can do it, you can do it, right?
Yeah, although Scorsese doesn't like Marvel
Mr. Computer
movies.
Man, all of your movies are just like CGI stuff now, right?
Right.
Like you started this revolution. You've been the guy to jump on board. And I understand. You're almost drowning trying to get a mechanical shark to work. Later on, you're like, yes, make a computer T-Rex, please.
Yeah, right.
This is just the distribution version of that.
Yeah.
There will always be spaces and places and faces for artists like you to do your work.
I agree. I think maybe this is just a hard thing for some people to get over.
And now that you are part of this group, we need you to continue to use your propensity to advocate to protect the rights, the monetary and property rights of streaming creators.
Yeah.
Because these deals are different. These are hard deals. The studios set the deals 100 years ago in Hollywood. So you get paid, you get the residuals, you get all this stuff.
Yeah.
Out in Computerland, I don't know if Ted Sarandos knows that you're supposed to get this amount of money for something that plays over and over again.
Oh, good point.
How do the residuals work on a Netflix movie?
I have no idea.
Well, hopefully Steven Spielberg can make sure that there is equity for all the artists who are doing stuff for Netflix and for Amazon and other places.
Well, do you get paid more if it's something that gets streamed a whole lot?
They probably pay you more up front.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get any cents per stream, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, I don't know. They've had a couple strikes and a couple near strikes recently just to hammer this stuff out. So
okay.
I think having Spielberg there is a good thing. So welcome aboard, Stephen.
Yes.
Although the reports of the death of movie theaters are greatly exaggerated.
Oh.
Thanks to one film. You can hear it right now.
Rev those engines.
Hear those
Hit the nos.
500 cc's of... No, don't hit the nos! Yes, one film has come out recently.
Yes.
And it's made a ton of money, even in these pandemic times. And
yes.
we're going to talk about it because this is the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mikan Hana.
And we are we are here
and
to bring you all the news that's fit to cast in this world that is quickly self-immolating. But we'll try not to talk about that too much. Yeah, we're here to talk about F9.
That's right.
The Fast Saga. Subtitle, The Fast Saga.
Which apparently is...
Because we got 2 films after this. Right now is the time to get that subtitle on.
Yeah, right.
I guess. But anyway, who knew it was going to be 9 films?
Yeah.
10 films, technically.
Yes.
If you got Hobbs and Shaw, and we do. So we have watched all the movies. We did a show previously where we talked about, I think, the first
1 and 2.
2. Yeah. So obviously we can't cover every single film in detail.
No.
But I think we should talk about our experiences watching for the first time the rest of those films, 3 to 9.
I'll do my best.
A new review of 9. And of course, the side project, Hobbs and Shaw. We'll be talking about all of those on the show today.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am doing okay. I will do my best to, but some of them kind of bleed together. But
nobody's asking the world from you.
Okay. Yeah, doing good.
I won't ask you to name the bad guys, their characters or their actors, because I know you can't. Because I can't.
No, it's bad guy in this movie and bad guy. Yeah, exactly.
Vaguely ethnic bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Who could be a mob boss or a drug lord? We
or
don't
a mob boss and a drug lord.
Yeah, he's bad.
Get out there and sell my drugs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I finished watching HBO Max's.
Here comes our Vow update.
Yeah, documentary, The Vow. I'm just fascinated. That's.
Who knew you were a secret true crimey?
You know, I've had okay, you say that, but like I feel like before you met me, I used to watch a lot of like 48 Hours and like and stuff like that, and like true crimey type stuff. But I'm just fascinated how these people get sucked into this who are supposedly, really, they come off, they seem like they're really smart, successful people in a lot of different ways. So what is it about it that they get sucked in? And, I think that this documentary talks about that a lot, just that, it appeared to be like what it was on the surface at first. Something, a program to help you get better and improve, and get out of your own way sort of thing, a self-improvement program.
That sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, well.
But not to everybody.
Not to everybody. And it just was fascinating just watching it. And they're am I going to say his name right? Keith Raniere, like, he had them film, like, everything. So, like, there was a lot of stuff that was, like, actually filmed, like him doing talks and stuff like that. And it's just, like, so they had, like, actual footage, which I thought was interesting, too. But it's just made me curious about the entire thing. And I think what I'm really curious about, even more so, which they didn't cover a whole lot, is, like, Allison Mack, who apparently is at the center of the sex cult thing and was in charge of making a lot of the decisions as far as that goes, the second in command. And I just like, what is her deal? But anyways, I think it's fascinating. But
I can't help but think of the Jeffrey Epstein case, which is very different.
Yeah.
But the core of it is some guy that really likes sex,
Yep.
and then has a female partner,
Yep.
who is also really likes sex, or at least sex
I'm
with
assuming.
him.
Yeah.
And they're just weird and gross.
Yeah.
And their job, definitely her part of the job, is to catch and snare young women
Well, that was
also be in this thing.
That was the thing that's similar with that is that's basically was Allison Mack's job, and she enlisted other people to do that too.
But since it's just like, out of work Hollywood actresses, they're both alive in jail. If you're doing it to like, world leaders, you go. Which brings me to my story.
Oh boy.
About John McAfee.
Oh yeah.
This is
talk about true
crime. A man
crime.
has died.
Yeah.
But McAfee has been uninstalled.
Oh, come on.
A man has died. I found dead of a suspected suicide in a Barcelona prison.
Yeah.
How do you say prison? Castillo.
Yeah, sure.
In Barcelona.
Yeah.
Probably waiting extradition to the U.S., right?
Yes.
He was in a lot of trouble.
He was in a lot of trouble.
And there's no shortage of reportage, I think, that you can find about him. I watched a documentary about him and his weird goings-on and his private army and wherever he was in Central America.
Yeah, right.
But,
he's had a lot of... He was a weird person.
Yep, a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
A lot of probably untreated mental illness and drug use. And a lot of money to be able to continue to do all that stuff.
That's a great combo, by the way. Winning combo.
This is too much money. Take a crazy person. I know there's a lot of crazy people on the street with no money, but take a crazy person, remove half their money and see if they're still crazy. And then we can just add money back a little bit. We'll just hold it in trust.
Okay.
And we'll add it back. Cut off the amount of money that allows them to live and fulfill these crazy fantasies. Right?
The too much money is...
I'm trying to find a mercantile solution to this.
I know.
We're not
going to
get rid of capitalism. So.
No, I know. But I feel like adding drugs to mental illness is a really bad combo.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of the money, that's bad too. But like, just
that's think that the CIA and Mossad is flying drones over your compound. Call my private militia level of crazy. Yeah,
your way of thinking.
Take over the town that you live in, and everybody's running scared.
Right, like your way of thinking.
That's a guy that Van Damme punches in the face, right?
Yeah.
Is there a Van Damme movie where like a crazed tech billionaire like takes over a... Actually, it's kind of like The Rundown. We already did that, right?
Yeah.
The Rock goes to Brazil.
Yeah.
And it's Heart of Darkness, basically. But it's like,
what
Heart of Darkness, but with like the Stifler.
Yeah, right.
That's what Heart of Darkness. Joseph Conrad's like, if only somebody would invent a cute, funny guy from Minnesota.
Yeah, right.
Could make pee jokes.
Right,
but
exactly.
Alas, we don't have that. So therefore, Colonel Kurtz.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Let's talk about the news. I want to mention really fast, apropos of not much, except for the fact that I'm a big Star Trek fan, but Joanne Linville has died at the age of 93. And she played the Romulan commander in Star Trek, a third season episode called The Enterprise Incident. She appeared once.
I have seen that because you watched it for the show, so
great.
Anyways.
She was on it once, and yet her performance was so indelible that she was remembered for that. And she went on to, appear in a lot of these. The journeyman actor, do they still exist? I don't know. That sort of actor, it's like this week you're on Gunsmoke, next week you're on Hawaii Five-0. I'm trying to make
I know what
you're on Bonanza.
Right.
These are all series that ran for a long time.
I'm not sure if it does because I feel like TV is different than it used to be. You know what I mean? I don't think it not to the same extent. Like you might have an actor that is on like one show 1 week and then like a couple of weeks later they're on something else, but it's not like there's somebody who's like continually on different shows.
She was taught by Stella Adler.
Gotcha.
And in the 80s, after she had kind of retired or semi-retired from acting, she opened a conservatory with Stella Adler.
Oh.
An acting school.
Very nice.
Both of our kids are actors, so she failed as a parent. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Whoa.
But sometimes you get, okay, don't do this. You don't want to do this. This is a long day's journey.
Yeah, I mean, you do.
But both of her, I know, I don't know them personally, but I know of her kids, and they have their heads on straight.
Yeah.
Her daughter Amy, unsurprisingly, looks a lot like her, and has played her in fan productions.
Oh, that's funny.
Star Trek. So I think Star Trek, it continues. Pretty sure it continues. Okay. She plays the Romulan commander who returns.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So yeah, she'll lovely lady. Was loved the fans and the fandom, and will be missed.
Yeah.
Let's get right into our stories about that little studio called the Brothers of the Warner.
Oh yeah. What did Warner Brothers do now?
Oh no. But kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that they released pictures of the Shazam Fury of the Gods costumes.
I think I have seen that, but
Spoiler for a 2-year-old movie. At the end of the movie, all of the kids, in Billy's family also become Marvels, as happened in the comic as well.
Yes.
And so the Marvel family is there, and you see their new suits. And to be honest, they kind of look like their old suits.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to kind of tell the difference between them all.
Okay.
So,
did you compare them?
No, I didn't really take a close eye to it, but looks good.
Right.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Good job.
Over here.
Yeah.
Can't complain. I think it's kind of interesting that Grace Fulton. So in the movie, there is Billy.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird because they're kind of like step siblings now, stepbrother.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you saying Shazam? Somebody will get that. And there was a girl who was like, all right, if Billy's going to be Zach Levi, fine. He grows up. But there's also a girl who's like 19 or 20. Like she could probably just be the adult version of herself.
Right. Yes.
But she ended up being played by a different actress.
Yes.
An actress named Michelle Borth. Well, Michelle is out on her ass. And now Grace Fulton will be playing the adult version of herself, which she probably should have done before. So it's like, sorry, Michelle. Everybody gets back together. Oh, man, table read. I'm so excited. Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
Right.
Where's Michelle? Where's Michelle, you guys? Outside on the window.
The fog glass.
Yeah. So
why did they make that decision in the first place, do you think? That's such a weird, it is a weird decision.
I know. I think it's because you have your main kid who is 2 years older and probably will always look like he does. It's weird that we've got this thing in TV. Like when Star Trek, that's 2. Oh, Wesley, let me make you a man. I'm Q. And it's like, psh, mother.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Have you seen Will Wheaton?
Yeah.
He looks like Wesley Crusher with a beard.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
He looks like somebody, remember the Iron Filings, the goofy face when you put the beard on the guy?
Yes.
It looks like that.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But so anyway, Michelle out of a job, but hopefully she gets residuals still from the first film.
Yeah. Wow.
Can't use any archival footage either. I guess replace her, I guess.
So
anyway, maybe that's something stupid that DC did today. I don't know. Here's something else from the set of the Flash movie.
Oh boy.
Which is filming.
Oh, good.
Has anyone seen Ezra Miller in the last 4 years? I think it's smart that they're keeping the focus off him. But when this movie comes out and he's the Flash, won't the questions be asked again?
Yes.
Maybe people will forget.
I think that's what they're
people
hoping
have short
for.
memories, right? Is that what it was? Or was it long? I can't remember. Anyway, the point is that we've seen some pictures from the set, and we've seen Michael Keaton on set, as promised.
Oh.
So Michael Keaton's Batman, or at least his Bruce Wayne,
yeah,
will be in this film. We've also seen pictures of the new Supergirl and her costume.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, you ain't taking over?
Well, you showed this to me off air, and I'm just confused, I guess would be the right way to say it. Like, okay, they have her in pants, which I don't have a problem with.
So this is a actress,
reimagining.
Yeah, Sasha Call. Mm-hmm. She is in her movie suit.
Yes.
Supergirl suit. Now, you have to differentiate it from the TV version, obviously.
Right.
In some way. The TV version still has a skirt, right?
Yes.
Although I've seen her in pants.
Sure.
Is that an Elseworlds? That must be an Elseworlds thing.
I'm not sure, but I've seen her in a skirt mostly.
Yeah.
So.
I think she's in the skirt with the tights.
Yeah.
But this is a full suit, like Superman.
Very
similar to Superman.
It's very similar to Superman, but...
Except Superman has normal body proportions?
Actual human possible abs? Well, maybe not. Maybe they are slightly exaggerated. Anyways, her abs look weird. They're not like circular.
Yeah, no, these are just, long lens, off the set.
Well, true.
Pics. And I think they are doing some flying scenes because she is in a rig.
True. So
it's
could
possible
look
that she's rigged up. And because of the technology that we have today, you don't have to make it seamless like with Chris Reeve, where all we have to do is erase the matte lines or the wires or whatever. You can just smooth it out and make her body look normal.
Yeah.
But it does look like she's wearing a Kryptonian diaper, like, under her suit.
It doesn't look right.
Yeah. If she's not wearing a cape, that's probably just all CGI, right?
Yeah, probably. So I don't know. It looks funny. Her midsection all looks funny. But maybe it'll look fine once they're all done. So I don't know. But
Hopefully. This movie sounds like a mess.
Yeah. I really wish we had some answers about Ezra Miller because I'm just left feeling uncomfortable. And I just want to know if he needs a talking to or what, you know? It seems like probably, but I don't.
What he needs is we need to get the person,
yeah,
the woman,
yeah,
and have her go, it's fine, it's cool.
Something.
Right?
So, yeah.
Then we'd be okay.
Yeah, right.
But their strategy is just like not
talk about
address it at all.
But it's like it's out
and
there.
That's not how the internet works.
No, right.
Staying in the same family, I'm sure you've heard that a Supernatural spinoff has been announced.
I did hear about that.
Which will be produced by not Jared Pileggi, by Jensen Ackles and his wife.
Yes.
Jared Pileggi will not be involved.
That's
and here's how you know he won't be involved. He went on Twitter and went, "Great, nobody called me."
Yeah.
Though I'm so happy to say, I'm saddened by the time.
Yeah.
And then his third tweet was like, please don't threaten the lives of Jensen Ackles and his wife.
Yeah,
because fans are insane, especially Supernatural fans.
Yeah, I know. And then I saw a new article today that said that after their feud of all of 2 days or whatever, of like this Supernatural spin.
They just broed it out.
Yeah.
They broed it out.
Everything's fine now.
Well, maybe it's because Jared was like, not loving being in Supernatural in the last couple years.
Well, his attitude certainly wasn't great.
Yeah, maybe Dean, the other one.
Dean is Jensen Ackles. What is Sam?
Sam.
Yeah.
Maybe Sam lost his soul again. Remember when he lost his soul?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Give me that beer."
Yeah, he lost his soul.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I like beer around here. You're gonna eat cheeseburgers and waitresses next. Maybe that's what it was.
I don't know.
But yeah, it kind of seemed like, I don't know. And then maybe if you're like, well, I've just decided that I'll never get to get to be Batman except for his voice.
Yeah.
So looks like Supernatural is just my life.
Right.
And I met my wife through it, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do this. And maybe we don't want the angry drunk guy, who also, to be fair, has his own show.
Yeah, right. Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Although maybe he should have talked to him.
Don't call?
Yeah. Maybe you should have called and talked to him first and been like, hey, are you cool with this? You know,
maybe just leave him unread and just sign the papers.
I think that's kind of what happened.
So this is going to be, I don't think we know much. I don't think there is much, but it's going to be a prequel. Great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Although, how far can you go? They went all the way.
I know.
About the parents.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Jeffrey Dean Morgan has aged out of this.
Aww.
Right?
Yeah.
But we get a young Jeffrey Dean Morgan type.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which doesn't exist.
That's
a paradox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be just, maybe it'll be a period piece. Maybe he'll be running around in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
80s stuff.
Yeah. Listen to 80s stuff.
A lot of 80s drops. What's the 80s? Well, Carry On My Wayward Son is. Yeah. So would you go even farther back?
Yeah.
Supernatural. How much is that dog? And
oh my God.
A little harder than that.
Yeah, harder than that for sure.
Hendrix.
Oh, I was thinking
do we get the money, Sam? Sam's not here.
Sam isn't born yet.
No, come on. Yeah, but he's also not in the producer's room.
Yeah, right. Or like Paint It Black or something like that.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah, right?
All right.
Is that too on the nose? I don't know.
Well, not all your bits can be better than mine. So, I don't know. Rejoice, I guess, Supernatural fans. I'm sure you'll complain about how it's not as good. What else is going on? In the world of Disney. Yes. Well, first of all, I got good news, I got bad news.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Maybe this is good news. It might actually be good news. Rachel Zegler is set to star in West Side Story, Steven Spielberg's coming out in theaters West Side Story. But she has also been tapped to play the title role in Disney's live-action Snow White.
Okay. When are we going to be done with these live action movies?
When are we done with Snow White? Somewhere, Kirsten Stewart's like, it's okay. I didn't want to play her anyway.
Probably. Oh, poor Kristen Stewart. Yeah, I'm just so done with the live action stuff. I mean, I know some people like them, right? Like the hardcore Disney fans, but I just don't think that they're as well done as the animated films that they're, based off of. And are we going to go through and do every single... The answer is yes.
When Ava DuVernay
yeah.
does the live action Princess and the Frog, and we get... I'm going to name a bunch of people, and hopefully they're alive.
Oh, boy.
BB King? I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, how about Harry Connick Jr.? There you go. New Orleans musician.
Yeah.
The Marsalis family. And we get a bunch of real life musicians to play the music and stuff like that. That could be a statement. It could be what I think they wanted that film to be, but a lot of people complain that it's like not because they spend half the movie in a swamp.
Right. As animals.
Yes. Like that could be a statement. Yes. But these are all, they're just cut rate, right?
Yeah.
They're Robert Towne isn't writing these things. No. They're not picking like a visionary director or right?
No. Yeah. And then they add new songs.
But for some reason, these don't work, and Marvel movies do, which also use a lot of cut rate writers and directors.
Yeah, I
no
suppose.
offense to Macquarie and not Macquarie. The guys that wrote Captain America.
Yeah. Who wrote Captain America?
I don't expect you to know.
Okay.
I'm supposed to know.
Yeah, but they don't
Marcus and McFeely.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a Mick in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was close.
You were. There's not a Kevin Feige for these Disney live action films.
You can't put him in charge of everything.
No, you can't.
Because he's going to do Star Wars, right?
Ugh. Do you think that he'll...
I don't think he'll do Star Wars, and that's fine. He shouldn't.
Okay.
We were talking about Spielberg before. Let's talk about Harrison Ford and that he was injured while filming Indiana Jones 5.
Stop, Harrison Ford. Stop getting injured doing Indiana Jones movies. Wasn't he injured in the last one?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It must be that we ask him to do this, or he asks to do it.
Or he thinks he can do it.
Because Helen Mirren is... kicking people. She's been in a couple action movies.
Yeah, she has.
And you never hear that Helen Mirren got hurt doing anything. Probably because as soon as there's anything remotely dangerous, a much younger woman in a wig comes in and kicks somebody in the face, right? But Harrison Ford must request to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like he must be like, no, I'm doing it. I'm on there.
I honestly could see that
and
happening.
He just, you just can't do it.
You're a much older man now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, he seems kind of accident prone, doesn't he? Is he like super clumsy?
Like it. Geez, wouldn't that just be something? Right? This guy who we hold up as like this great action hero.
Throw me the idol. Let's throw you the whip. Oh, yeah, I dropped the whip.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, Harrison Ford, Han Solo was supposed to just die on that bridge, but Harrison Ford slipped and no, that's good. Keep it. Is he okay?
Han shot first, accidentally.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was supposed to just hold the gun on the guy.
Ooh.
Oh, we're going with that.
Okay.
We'll fix it 20 years from now. Don't worry about
exactly.
it. Yeah. So, hopefully he'll be well soon.
I hope so.
More hopefully that movie will be any good. Let's talk about the bad thing from Disney, which we never got to.
Okay, let's do it.
John Boyega.
Yes.
Has left this Netflix project he was working on.
Right, we did talk about that.
And he's now lost his Twitter verification.
What?
Now, the mysterious process of becoming a Twitter blue check is something that we'll never really understand. But it's generally given to people who are established to be something.
Celebrities or something.
Here's an example. I don't know if he's a friend. I've talked to him a couple times. An acquaintance of mine who's an author. Mm-hmm. He's a very successful author, and he's doing well. He's not James Patterson. He's got just below 8,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he recently got a blue check.
There you go.
So it isn't about having millions and millions of followers.
No.
It's about being a personality. It's about being like an established person that has to verify that this is me.
Yes.
But John Boyega does not have that anymore.
I don't understand that, and that makes me kind of angry. Like, why doesn't he have it anymore?
Because...
Is Twitter punishing him for
because
something?
Black Lives Matter?
That's stupid.
Because he dared to go against... this is what... Mark Ruffalo would have lost his if he hadn't have issued that apology.
Oh, come on. I think this is stupid, and I really want this to get fixed. I don't understand it. It just makes me mad. I don't see the correlation. Twitter shouldn't get to choose who gets it and who doesn't. You know what I mean? As far as that goes, if let's say you are a celebrity and you get a blue check, and then years later...
You speak out against systematic racism in the industry?
Well, I was just going to say, years later, you're not as relevant. Does the blue check go away? What are the things that happen? He's
fairly relevant still.
He is.
He's only in 3 of the biggest movies of all time.
I know. So I just don't understand. Have they done this to other people that
he
we don't know about?
He didn't do Chaos Walking.
No, he did not.
Everybody should lose their check for that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he's doing well, and I guess we'll have updates if we hear any more.
It just makes me mad.
Another sad story. Max Rosenthal, the father of Phil Rosenthal, has passed away at the age of 95.
Oh no. The Phil Eats, or what is it called? The show. What is the show called?
Phil Eats, everybody. Everybody poops, but Phil eats.
Oh, stop it.
It's somebody feed Phil.
Yes.
Is what one was called.
Yes.
He had another one called I'll Have what Phil's Having that was on PBS.
Okay.
And I think that was the precursor to the Netflix series Somebody Feed Phil, and he would call his parents on every show.
I know.
He would Zoom them.
Which is so sweet.
Or Skype them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sad. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his mom. That's rough. But, the show won't be the same. I guess let me put it that way, without his dad there. And that's just...
Most of it'll be the same.
I guess.
It'll still be him going, ooh, that's how you make the beignets or whatever. And then he eats the beignets and he goes, ooh, it's good.
Yeah, right. I know.
And then he talks to his thing is his thing is successful because he's, he gets paid every time they make that into another international version of Raymond, right?
I think
This all started because I don't think he was on camera on Raymond. He did play a character on Raymond once in a while, didn't he?
I don't know.
But I don't think he was an on-camera guy. And then he was in the documentary,
For Everybody Loves Raymond.
Looking for Raymond or whatever it was called, and where they made the Russian version and it was oh, this guy's funny. He's funny on camera.
Yeah.
And so he's not going to be a big actor. So it led to him doing these experience shows. But he basically just talks to random people, and there must be so much footage they throw away.
Probably.
Because the random person on the street is not, whatever candid camera tells you or kids say the darndest things.
No.
Is not going to be a font of entertainment.
No.
But he kind of works people
Yeah.
and just keeps questioning them until he gets them into kind of a weird space, where they're telling them things that they probably shouldn't be.
It's entertaining.
And he's like, "Ooh, whoa, that's weird."
Yeah, right.
It sounds like I don't like it. I do. I'm just saying, it's not alchemy.
No, it's not. And I feel like he doesn't necessarily it's all about food, but I don't feel like he necessarily has a discerning palate really either. I feel like he pretty much likes everything. It's just a different way of saying,
I would pay
like it.
money if a subscription service had a cooking show or a food experience show where the person went around and we knew they were talented. They were maybe a Michelin star chef or something, and they were honest about the food. I would watch that show, even if they went to 10 places and they all sucked. But the most critical man on earth, especially of himself, Anthony Bourdain, goes and has a taco anywhere, and he's like, "Oh, it's good. It's good." It can't all be good, Anthony. It can't.
I know.
And then the one time that he has Frito pie or something like that, and he's he did say it was good, but he said it felt like a bag of crap. When you take a mini bag of Fritos and you put chili in it. And,
it's so good, but it's
you feel that
bad
heat through you walked your dog weird. And then you didn't have a baggie.
Oh, okay.
It's totally accurate. And then Texas got mad and he's like, "I'm sorry, it's not a bag of crap." So it's like,
I mean, look, you put taco meat into a bag of Frito-Lays. It's delicious.
it's about the same coming
but
out.
It's
as
kind
it is
of
going
gross. Yeah. It's kind of you made a gross thing, but it tastes delicious.
Sure.
So don't be so mad, Texas.
Like oysters, his favorite food.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oysters.
just feels like the anniversary of his death. I've just been thinking about it a little bit. Let's move on to something more enlightening, more pleasing.
All right.
Warren Ellis is back. I lied.
What a lie!
I lied to
you
your
lied.
face.
Yeah.
There's been a little blip over here recently. Now, we know that literally a year ago, and here's how I know it's a year ago, because I got on Facebook throws up old things that you've done.
Yes.
On the anniversary of you doing them.
Yes.
I got a thing that was a quote from me saying, with all the creeps in the industry, it's been becoming harder for me to leave the comic shop with anything in my hands.
Yes.
Because all the things I would buy is like, I'm not going to buy that.
I'm not going to support this creator.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was exactly a year ago. And it was announced last week that he would be returning to Image Comics with his partner, artist Ben Templesmith, former guest on the show, to finish their series Fell, which has been on hiatus.
Yeah.
Not only since a year ago, but for a while before that.
Right.
And it was done. Let's just say, I think it was calculated because
feels like it.
Some people are done. If it was DC, it would have been, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
But I think Image Comics took steps. They released this on the same day. First of all, it was not a major press release. They just said something on Instagram or something like that. Or I think Templesmith said something. Hey guys, what's up? Great to be back working with Warren Ellis again. And it happened on the same day that a Warren Ellis, Nick Cave CD came out. Well, there's a musician named Warren Ellis, and I bet he wishes he could change his name.
Yeah, right.
So if you search for Warren Ellis, what are you going to get? The Nick Cave thing, right?
Yeah. Right.
So all that came out. Now, there is a website that is being maintained by the people who that Ellis, preyed on, abused.
Right.
And I can't remember what it's called right now. Do you remember? This is how it goes. This is it.
Oh my God. You would ask me. And
we'll know by the end of the segment.
You sent it to me. And,
I did. Okay. Well, I'll just look into the thing that I sent you, but you should probably know. It's called SoManyOfUs.com.
Thank you.
SoManyOfUs.com. Over 60 women.
Yes.
And
is terrifying.
Yeah. And trans people. And it was a kind of a wide...
Non-binary.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
And they laid out, over the course of this year, they've maintained this site because Warren Ellis has never said anything really publicly or apologized about this at all. But they basically laid out like a process. They said, look, obviously, you shouldn't be shot out of a cannon or something like that.
We don't want you to be canceled.
Also, we still, insanely, we're still fans of your work. And obviously we want you to have a career still, but we have to have some kind of restitution. We have to go forward somehow. So they laid out like this 4-point plan where he needs to meet with them, and it's like a restorative justice type situation.
Well, and also they don't want this to happen to anybody else.
Well, we need some. They are getting ahead of the criticism of cancel culture, which is like, where does it stop and where does it end?
Right.
And they're saying this isn't about that. This is about a guy partially ruining a lot of people's lives, and we need to get through this somehow because it's so many people just need to move forward with this. So how do we do it?
Yeah, right.
He didn't do anything.
Nope.
Then this Templesmith thing came out.
Yep.
And immediately the people who run the site were like, oh, okay, fun, interesting.
Yeah, right.
There was a public backlash. They get an email from Warren Ellis saying, it has come to my attention that and I'm willing to boop-a-doop-a-doop.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, is this what I have to do so my career can continue?
Yeah, right.
And my thing is, fine. Nobody is happy about being punished, right?
No.
It would be great if we had the contrition Ray and we could make him feel bad about this, but we can't. We just can't.
No.
You think Derek Chauvin's going to get out of prison and be like happy that he was sent to prison?
Better person?
No.
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 So at least if he does it, great. I'm not going to run out and buy Fell necessarily.
Right.
At least we can all move on.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the idea with restorative justice. I mean, maybe if you crash a Cessna or something, then maybe you need to be billed. Your paycheck needs to be garnished to pay back for some of that Cessna.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably insurance. Where am I going with this?
I don't
know. The point
know.
is that only the emotional hurt can't be fulfilled or made whole by money or things, right?
Yeah, yes.
The only way it can is for you to have the chance to get over this.
Yeah.
And so that's why this
steps.
is important.
Yes.
And whether or not he is doing it in good faith, I'm glad he's doing it.
I agree with you.
Oh, gotta find a good story because that was...
That was a lot.
How about the fact
depressing.
that Junji Ito has drawn a manga adaptation of The Lighthouse?
This is fantastic. Wow. Okay, so creepy, weird, film, and then a horror mangaka is going to adapt it into manga. I love it.
Yes.
It's going to be weird and fantastic, and I hope that there's a creepy mermaid terrorizing people in it.
It seems like a lot of people... I don't know where you got the idea for this, but I think a lot of people have been making connections between his work and the work of... and Robert Eggers is maybe to The Witch and The Lighthouse.
Yes.
And I'm like, nobody's read Lovecraft or anything like that. It's like,
yeah, right.
I wouldn't say that Junji Ito is 100% a Japanese Lovecraft, but it is the same emotional tonality to it.
Yeah, like it's something weird and creepy that like hidden underneath the surface, right? Like that sort of...
It sounds like David Lynch. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't have made those, but I can see when somebody says that.
Yeah.
So I don't think any word really on when it's coming out, but CBR has a little preview of it.
Oh.
And you can check that out.
Oh, I will have to check that
on
out.
the Cord Blood... No, it's comic book resources.
I bet... I don't know. I'm just very fascinated by that. And Music Guru Tara is a very big fan of The Lighthouse, so I'll have to mention that to her as well.
Cool. Oh, I thought you were going to keep going. All right. Hey, broadcasting. Let's talk real fast about the movie Dune.
Yes.
Which we were really supposed to see already. It's supposed to come out last year, right?
Well, it was supposed to come out last year, and then it got pushed back to December.
Yeah, and then now it's been pushed back again. But
okay,
hold on, Fremen, not
Okay.
that far.
Okay, how far?
Instead of coming out October 1st,
Yes.
it's going to come out October 22nd.
Oh, it's just 20 days later.
Yes.
Is that going to be enough to fix whatever they need to fix? Like, what? Why? We many questions.
We don't know. It
Okay.
is, of course, an obviously effects-heavy film. It's a sci-fi epic, and I'm sure there's a ton of color grading that doesn't do itself on a Denis Villeneuve film.
No.
So maybe it's just not quite ready.
Okay.
And instead of rushing it like Cats, you just wait a little bit. Plus, it's October. You're fine, right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then also it is a Warner Brothers film, so it is, because it's coming out this year still, that was what I was concerned about. It will be on HBO Max.
Yeah, and we will have our review of it when it comes out.
That's right.
Part 1, they're not calling it, but it is going to be a
Oh,
two-part
that's
movie.
right. They're hoping to do 2 films at least.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I feel like either you see it as being a series being 3 films or just 1.
It is interesting because now they're going to cram the sandworms into the first part. Don't they show up in the second part? But everybody wants to see... It's not Doom without sandworms.
We've already
so we've
seen
got to try to cram
sandworms.
them into the first part when they probably should be in the second part.
Yeah. We know they're in this thing.
Don't at me with you've read the book and no, but actually when Duncan Idaho does it, okay, fine. We'll have our review when it comes out. Speaking of things that are being brought back from the dead, Interview with the Vampire is getting a series at AMC.
Okay, I can see it. Vampires so hot right now. They're always hot. Are they never not hot? But
Anne Rice still kicking around.
Yeah.
Some soggy cemetery in New Orleans.
She is an interesting character because, like, I feel like there's been some controversy around her. It's not all like fun and good times. So I can't remember what it was. But there was after Interview with a Vampire, she had some sort of religious bent.
Yeah, she got Jesus-y.
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that she's like, yeah, do Interview with a Vampire. That's fine.
Well, it's funny because I have a novel series based on vampires drinking the blood of Christ, and also side gig as a erotica author.
Right.
And then if I just write a random story, a ghost is going to be boning somebody.
Yeah, right.
So now I love Jesus. Ooh.
I got to change what I write about.
Yeah. I have a series of aggressive hand-holding and a series where, what do you do? And what you do is you kind of figure it out in the end, right?
I guess.
I'm not trying to ridicule or disprove religious faith, but people kind of need their bread buttered.
Yeah.
And so if you're Bob Dylan, you make a bad album or two of train songs, right. And then you go back to playing
what
the
you were
hits.
doing before.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think that's what she did?
I think she's playing the hits.
Okay.
Plus, she's working with her son, Christopher Rice, as well, who's a writer. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
so they will be EPs, but non-writing EPs, which is okay, thanks.
Whoa. Okay. We'll take the check.
Do like Diana Gabaldon. He's like, you can submit a script.
Oh, great.
She's written an episode or two of Outlander.
I'm sure she has.
Yeah, but I think, at the end of the day, it's like Ronald D. Morris where the buck stops.
Yeah, probably. Huh. Interesting.
So I don't know if that could be good. That we all agree that the movie had some good ideas, but maybe it was just,
that's on my list. I actually haven't
seen it.
No.
Okay, I'd be interested to see or hear your opinion.
Well, maybe when the show comes out, we could watch the movie or something like that and talk about it.
Maybe we can. Our last story of this evening. The UK has moved officially to regulate Netflix, Amazon, and Disney in order to protect the BBC. Here we see the real pitfalls of socialism.
Wait, how are they regulating it? In what way?
They are going to subject them to broadcasting laws.
Which are what exactly? Sorry, I'm processing.
They're going to look at the rules that ensure that they have appropriate age content ratings, the standards, their impartiality, and their accuracy for the documentary and the news reporting. Because remember, it's a government agency, and the BBC is.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of like their mail. It's not, the government doesn't directly own it, but basically funds it.
Yeah, right.
And so they have these rules about the watershed hour, or when you can have things on there. Because you and I both know you can see a kid's show at 6 p.m. And then at 10 p.m. titties, right?
Sure.
Right. It's a little more Wild Westy, but it's still
regulated.
Yeah, and so these things can just come in through the internet wire, the air, and do whatever they want. Now, a lot of people think, and maybe it has something to do with the crown.
Okay.
Because Netflix is making the royal family look like shit.
Yeah, probably.
And so suddenly, Boris Johnson and Parliament wants to regulate all the streaming channels. Interesting.
Yeah, how long have the streaming channels existed and this just happened now?
Well, so they've done this in the past because there's BBC, and there's also ITV and Sky. All these channels are, made in the wake of the BBC and in a lot of ways come in through satellite dishes or cable or whatever and have eventually been regulated by the BBC. And I think the BBC has talked about possibly regulating the streamers. But they are officially going to officially begin to look into it.
That is very interesting, especially after the last season was when we really got into the story with Princess Diana, which really makes the royal family look not so great. And the actress who played Diana won, I think, an Emmy for her portrayal, so they probably didn't like that either.
Speaking of TV shakeups across the pond, they're also looking into privatizing Channel 4.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Channel 4 has been under public ownership since 1982, which means that it is technically a government service. Your tax dollars go to fund it, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Channel 4 is, I don't know as well programming
like what goes
breakdowns.
into what. Yeah.
I know that British Bake Off is on Channel 4. I know that.
Yeah. Now. It wasn't originally.
Right. And so it has been pretty successful.
Yeah.
And they are looking at selling it.
Okay.
For the money, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
We need the money. Okay. All right. Some interesting tidbits.
This is really the downside of, first of all, commerce always screws art over.
Yeah.
It also funds art. Check out the Sistine Chapel.
I know.
If you need an example of that.
Yeah.
But it always gets left behind because now the government is mad about regulation, getting this Dame Judi Dench off the screen.
Yeah.
But they also want to sell off this thing that must benefit. I mean, it's like made from the people's money. It must benefit them in some way.
I would
and then
think
you're
so.
going to enrich the government to some private company by selling off this public thing.
I don't understand why they're selling it.
So you're screwing the people out of something, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be fireworks and pyrotechnics on Bake Off now if it becomes private.
Yeah, I guess.
Spend a lot of money on it, but then you'll have to pay for it if you don't live in Britain.
Yeah.
Outside of your license fee, of course.
Right. Because Great British Bake Off right now, it does, in the U.S., you watch it on Netflix.
Right.
Even the new episodes.
Right.
So, Well, I hope that doesn't affect where it is available because I'd be really sad. So
what about BBC 7?
I have no idea.
BBC Heaven!
Oh my God.
Mrs. Will ya make me tea? Make love to me. Put on the telly. To the BBC. To the BBC. Yeah.
What's the thing that's going on in movie series right now where the least important and most poorly received film gets chosen by the creators to become the source of all the new things going forward? What is that? 2 examples.
I don't know.
2 examples.
Okay.
If you're watching the Loki show right now,
Yes.
who knew that Thor: The Dark World was one of the most important movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I wouldn't have known just from watching all the films.
Yeah, and not just Loki. Like, Jane is going to be Thor.
I know.
In this. So having Jane more involved, apparently we want that, even though she was not in Ragnarok. It did not appear in any film other than that one. So that's number 1. Number 2, who knew that Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift was the linchpin
I had no idea.
around which the series would revolve in its final chapters?
Yeah, I would not have guessed that. I mean, I feel like Tokyo Drift is probably the weakest.
No.
You don't think so?
I think it's the best of the first couple.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's better than 4. I like 2. I like 2. But 3 and 2 are up and down for me. And I don't really, 1's the one that started it all, but I don't really like 1 all that much.
1's okay. What happens in 4?
I had you, dude.
Yeah.
What happens in 4?
Yeah.
They break, no, this is when he goes to prison. Dom is going to work for a drug lord.
Right. Oh, this is the one where
Paul
Letty
Walker
dies?
is often, yes, but Letty dies.
Yeah, okay,
and,
gotcha.
Paul Walker is undercover because now he's working for the FBI, even though he was a criminal in the second one. And they have to go undercover, and they work for a drug lord. They got to deliver his drugs.
And they meet Gal
But then
Gadot.
stuff happens.
Yeah.
And they meet, Gal Gadot works for... And
The drug lord.
She's intelligible for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Okay.
But anyway, who knew that so many elements and characters and things from that would return, and characters from the first Tokyo Drift movie would be so important in Fast 9.
I never would have guessed it, but they're very important.
I'll just say, as best as you can,
yeah.
At the end of this, we're going to talk about F9. So, if you can remember what's a spoiler from 3 through 8... Don't say it.
What's a spoiler? What do you mean?
It's a thing on the back of a car. It's not important right now.
Oh my God. I just
there's one major thing from Tokyo Drift that would be a spoiler.
Oh.
But just, stuff like that. We want to be respectful. Well, I'm sure we'll screw up multiple times. So,
Respectful for
we
movies
talked about the
that
first two
span
films.
20 years.
It's time to talk about The Fast and the Furious,
Yeah.
Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
A film which no one asked for.
Nope.
And honestly, no one thought would succeed. It more than made its budget back. It made a profit, but it was the lowest grossing. But here's the deal. The crazy SOB, Neil H. Moritz, NHM, SOB,
Yeah.
that runs these things, that saw the vision in either buying or saying, I'll take that project that's based on an article from Vibe magazine.
Right.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
He kept it going. And then after the third one didn't do so great, he's like, we got to get the band back together.
Yep.
And they did it.
They did.
But
they did do it.
The band is not back together at this point.
No, they are not.
A Oro Valley high school student
A 30-year-old high school student
named Sean Boswell.
Which is such an easy name to forget.
Right.
Reminds me of Bosley.
Gets in a wreck.
He races a car with one of the kids from Home Improvement, and he gets in trouble, and his mom is just like, I can't handle this, and his parents are divorced, and his dad is stationed in Japan, so he gets sent to live with his dad in Japan and get kind of straightened out and learn what's what sort of thing. I mean, he's
we're gonna string him out.
No, straightened out.
Straightened out.
Yeah, because he's a bad kid apparently because he does the racing thing. That's the only thing that I never really know that he does.
He's got an attitude problem.
Well, yeah.
He's been in and out of some schools.
Yeah, he transfers schools all the time. He gets in trouble.
He is apparently recklessly suicidal because he drives this car through he's got a Monte Carlo and he's racing against the rich kid who's got a Viper.
Yeah.
Now, I love Monte Carlo, but I don't know if I could beat the Viper. But they race through this housing development, which isn't supposed to say anything. I think it's just a cool place to set a car chase.
I think so, too.
And then he gets behind and decides to get creative, and so he drives through all the half-finished houses and just destroys his car. Just destroys it.
I know.
So anyway, he gets sent to Japan. And then he falls in with a fun crowd. Not a bad crowd necessarily. Guess what? They race cars in Japan.
They do.
They drift cars in Japan.
They do. They Tokyo drift.
Yeah. And he runs into Bow Wow.
Yeah.
At this point, Little Bow Wow.
At this
Later,
point, Little Bow Wow. Just
Big
Bow
Bow
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who's also going to this school for some reason.
I think his dad is also their dads are in the army or
Maybe.
something like that. I don't know.
He's got a nice car though. Maybe they got some money. He's got a Hulk car.
He's got a Hulk car, which I really enjoyed.
Why? I think Justin Lin must like the Hulk.
I think so.
This is Justin Lin's first movie.
Yeah, I just think it's funny.
And
because you see a big green foot and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sean meets Han. Is that a thing? Are they doing a thing?
I don't know that they necessarily are, but their
Han
names do kind of rhyme.
Yes. Han is I don't know what he is. So Han sounds Chinese.
He's Korean.
I know the actor's Korean.
But the character's Korean.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I think they say, don't they say
I don't think so. I don't know if they do. But anyway.
I don't think he's Japanese. He meets Han,
played
who likes
by
to snack a lot.
Yeah, Sung Kang, who is, he's American.
Okay.
Yeah, he was born in America, but.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But he's Korean, but yeah.
Yeah. And he shows him the ropes.
Yes.
And they
takes him under his wing.
Run afoul of the bad guy, Takashi, who is the son of a crime lord, Yakuza.
Yeah.
And it's going to be problems.
It's going to be a lot of problems.
Weirdly, probably the lowest stakes of any Fast and the Furious film.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, I guess I don't really care what happens to the drug lord, Hispanic Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, I know which one. Hispanic Matthew McConaughey in Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, is that the second one?
Pretty low stakes.
Yeah, I don't care about him at all.
Yeah. Oh, we got him. Oh, good. We landed on his boat.
Yeah, right.
But it just seems really low. It's it's a bunch of high school kids who get in a tiff, and then they're gonna have a street race to decide who wins.
Yep.
And one guy wins.
Yep.
And then Sonny Chiba is like, "It's pretty good driving."
I have
that's it.
Respect. Yeah, right.
Yeah, respect.
And then Dom shows up.
Yeah.
At the end.
And then Han's killed. And then a man does die. And the cops never show up.
No, and they drive through Shibuya Crossing, which is like this really well-known, very populated crosswalk crossing in Japan. And it's bad. And his car just freaking blows up, and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a thing. And Sean's very distraught, but...
Yeah, but you think that, like, maybe it does happen. It's been a while since I watched it, but wouldn't the cops want to talk to this guy?
You would think. Yeah, you would think so. Absolutely. It's a pretty horrific thing to happen on the streets of Tokyo. Well, it happened anywhere.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. Let's, since we want to get through these with some time left in our lives, what is this about?
This series or this film?
No, we're not going to just stop after talking about Tokyo Drift. Yeah, this film.
I mean, I think it's about that, like, you can find drag racing anywhere, for one thing. And,
You're bad at this.
I am bad at this.
Which
I
is
know.
Like, this is the whole reason. This is the divider line between you and me, right? You can watch something and go, yeah, it's good. That was 2 hours of images that were pleasing. But like, I will turn something off 5 minutes in because I'm positive it's not going anywhere, and it will never be about anything. And to me, this isn't necessarily about anything. It's really like a coming of age story, right? It's about a kid who doesn't fit in, and he goes to this weird place where he's never going to fit in.
Yeah.
But he finds, he applies himself and he learns this new skill.
The drifting.
The drifting.
Yeah.
And he makes connections and friends, and he finds something that it's worth, fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
And then it begins with a race that he horribly loses.
Yeah.
There's actually a race in the middle that he also loses. But it ends with a race for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's for, his life and to get the mob off their back. It's a little convenient that they're going to leave him alone. Because Sonny Chiba could have been like, nice race. Blam.
I know.
But he saves all of his friends and the girl that he's into.
Except for
and
Han.
Han's already gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an accident. They shouldn't have been racing.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
What about the next movie? Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
No, the articles, conjunctions, gone.
The titles of these films are all over the place.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm wondering is, I got no idea what the 10th one's going to be called.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
Maybe it'll be Fast X or something like that, because that's 10. I don't know.
If that's what it'll be. You're right.
You think?
Yeah. Because they already did like Fast 5, but Fast X is a letter.
Yeah.
So they're getting around it that way.
Right?
But when people go like, I don't get
Furious X
I don't get
something.
what, it won't be Furious X.
Yeah.
I don't get the naming scheme. I've been able to accurately predict the last 4 names going off of the pattern. I was always good at it in the SAT, where they go, here's a sequence, 2, 5, 8, or whatever.
Yeah, what's the next one going to be? Yeah.
So that's all they're doing. Fast and Furious, the 2009 film.
So this film is, like you were saying, Paul Walker is going to be working undercover yet again because they trust him for some reason this time. I don't know. And
well, it opens with his crew, his new crew.
Right. With
Letty, and we meet Tigo and Rico and Kara, and of course Han.
Yes. So Han is back, but we find out, it was very confusing for me. This was before Tokyo Drift.
It's impossible to reconcile. It does not make sense.
Yeah.
And even F9, as we said before, goes out of its way to finally make it make sense. And it still doesn't really make sense.
No.
It's just like, we just wanted this guy back because he was so great.
Right. So I guess it starts with Dom and Letty, and they get secretly married, and we don't find out about that until later in the film.
I guess it's fine to say.
Then Dom leaves because he's worried that he's endangering Letty and that sort of thing, and so he's gone. They don't know where he is, and gosh, I don't remember a lot of this film.
Brian O'Connor is going after Braga, the drug lord.
Yeah, right.
And Dom goes to where Letty supposedly died in a car crash,
and
is able
CSIs
to Sherlock Holmes that she was shot, and that it was this guy that works for Braga.
Yes.
So now Dom's got a reason to find Braga, and
Yes.
Brian has a reason to find Braga.
Yeah, so
and
then they reluctantly team up.
They reluctantly, at their starting line.
Yeah,
Engines pumping
Jumping
in time. Yeah. And like, other stuff happens. This is a surprisingly plotty film. I think the lesson
Very
they learned
plotty.
from this film is we don't need a plot like this.
We don't need a plot.
There's a lot of like
period.
twists and turns, and Mia's trying to get them to reconcile, and the drug lord's doing this.
Yep.
Is this the one where? No, that's a later film. Never mind.
Okay.
Where they send Brian off to get infiltrated into a Mexican prison. I guess the other ones are kind of plotty sometimes still. And then he runs into Braga. It's the prison where they put Braga away.
Yeah, that's a different film.
But the real draw here is the driving, is Brian and Dom reconciling.
Yes.
It's the underground tunnels that the drug tunnels they have to drive through.
Tells them how to get through. And Brian and Mia get back together in this. We find out like he wasn't so great when their relationship like ended and stuff like that, and he like basically says I'm sorry and had too many feelings, stuff, whatever.
And Dom runs into the guy that killed Letty.
Yes, and kills him pretty definitively.
Yeah, that guy's dead.
As much as you can definitively kill anybody in these.
Yeah,
films.
we'll see him in F10 for sure.
Yeah, right.
FX.
Yeah,
sorry.
right. Yeah, right. Ooh.
There's a movie series called FX, so they can't do that.
Oh, well, there's a TV channel called FX
And
too.
so basically, because this is all under the very loose auspices of the FBI's operation, Dom is taken into custody. His work in helping out is brought into consideration, and he gets 25 years, basically.
Yeah.
For all those DVDs he stole.
DVD player.
Right. But because we already know we're going to the moon here.
Yeah, right.
Well, FX.
Kind of. Yeah.
We decide, let's show them. They're obviously going to break out Dom out of his prison bus.
This is the start of the fifth one.
Yeah. Well, before we get there.
Yeah.
What's this one about?
Is this the heist one?
What? No.
No.
We just talked about everything that happens in it.
I'm sorry, they literally all bleed together. All I know is like at the beginning that they break Dom out of the
No.
prison
This
bus.
we're doing Fast and Furious, the fourth one. This is the fourth one. What is it about?
Oh, you're asking me what the fourth one is about.
I always ask you what it's about.
It's about family.
This is the one that's about family.
Yeah.
And that role gets expanded into 5 for sure. But this is when it becomes...
This is when it starts.
And it also becomes... And this is also about the rise of Dom Toretto as,
the patriarch.
A Superman.
Yeah, right.
Talk about Black Superman. This is whatever he is, Superman. Fill in the blank Superman.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, nobody knows. And he won't say. I'll tell you what I like about the first movie is that he's like a human being. He's fallible. He's just a guy who's cocky and he's good at racing, and you break your heart, I'll break your neck, but he's like a human being.
Yeah, right.
And he F's up and he crashes his car at the end, and he needs Brian to help him out.
Yeah.
That Dom is gone.
Yep.
From now on, it's like, I'm gonna get a wrench out and I'll hit you with my head.
I know.
That's in the 5th one. No, that's in the 6th one that he headbutts a guy to death.
Yeah.
But this is the beginning of that Dominic Toretto.
Yeah, right. So the 5th one starts.
No, we're doing the 5th one
when he's on the bus to prison, and they break him out.
You're gonna be late for the bus to prison.
Yeah, right. And they break him out, and the bus rolls. Do the other prisoners get out?
The bus rolls like 57 times, and they're all fine. But that's you're gonna see a lot of
that's
that.
how these movies are.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times, and they're miraculously fine. Nobody knows how. We just move on.
See if you can. Who is the bad guy in this one?
Is it like the mob guy?
Oh, I was going to say
South
his name.
America? Oh, I don't know his name. I do not know his name. No. Mm-mm.
It's Reyes. He's a Brazilian drug lord.
Oh, right. He's the Brazilian drug
and
lord.
a businessman. That's his front for his drugs.
Right. So this is the one where after they break Dom out of the prison bus. They're all kind of on the run because everybody from the law is looking for them. And Mia and Brian go to Brazil, where they have hooked up with what's his name from the first film? Vince, who was kind of a dick.
Yes.
But he's got a girlfriend now and a baby, so he's cool now. He's mellowed out a little bit. And so they go hang with Vince and his baby's mama and his baby for a little while. Mia throws up. We all know what that means.
Bad enchiladas.
Yeah, right. And basically also at the same time, like, people are looking for them, I think, in Brazil. And this is the first movie that The Rock is in. And
okay, all right. You're all over the place.
I know.
Vince, okay, so remember, you think that car-based crime is ridiculous, but it predates their formation of a car-based crime gang. Because once Vince is like, I got a job for you. And the job is that they're going to steal 3 high-tech cars from a train. So that world already exists.
Yeah.
And if Vince Diesel, it's probably Vince, right? If he ever wants to not do this again, fine. Because apparently there's just a whole world where people just, like the Hot Wheels universe, where people just commit crimes with cars.
Yeah.
So they're going to do that. But they find out, first of all, that the DEA is involved.
Yes, which is The Rock.
And Dom shows up, too.
Yeah.
He's also there. I guess he's working for the other team or whatever.
Like Brian
and
told
the drug lords team double crosses them. So they figure, we got to get this car. There's something important in the car, right?
And it's the car that Mia was driving.
Yeah, right.
And they find out.
They drive off a cliff and they're fine.
Yeah. And they get the car back to a place, a garage, and they're looking at it and they find that there's this chip. And this chip
there's always something.
I know. Has information about deliveries, I think it is. And
it's just like his distribution network.
It's the drug lord's distribution network. And so
where all his money is.
Yeah. So they decide they gotta
Luke Hobbs,
yes.
AKA The Rock.
Yes.
AKA Dwayne Johnson, a.k.a. your acting needs to be up here.
Apparently. Which I'm just like, wow.
And his partner, no, he's not a partner. She's a cop. She's a Brazilian cop. Elena Neves comes on the scene as well.
Yes. And Elena's husband was killed previously by the drug lord, one of the drug lord's guys or something like that. Because of him, her husband is dead.
They say you take the silver, I take the lead.
Yes.
I took the lead.
Yeah. And so she wants revenge against this guy too. And she's pretty honest. So she's going to tell it like it is.
And so, so the Rock's after them, but also the Brazilian police are after them. But the Brazilian police are essentially just a wing of the drug cartel because they're corrupt.
Yes.
Can't trust them.
No.
They got to get away. And Mia tells Brian that she's pregnant. So we have to worry about that. But also, the family's getting bigger.
Yeah, right.
And so to do this, we have to rip this guy off.
Yep.
We've got this guy's money, or we know where his money is. We can get it. So we got to form a team.
Yep.
And that's where we get Han.
Yeah.
And Roman.
Yes.
And Tej.
Yes.
Giselle. And Leo and Santos.
Yes.
And we're gonna heist this thing.
I love this.
We'll just spend an hour doing it, practicing, then we'll throw out the heist and just bash our way into the thing and take the whole thing.
I know.
It's almost like the screenwriter is like, pencil breaks. Screw it. They just run in there. Yeah.
I know. They do all these practice runs of like, we have to go this fast around the corner and it has to be like this. And then they just end up breaking in there and like just pulling the safe out and they pull the safe down the street.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But it's like this huge like set piece in this film. And I think it makes this film really memorable. And then we see how like, so then they do this huge chase and Hobbs is like, okay, good job guys, but you need to leave the safe with me, because this money is contraband. They're like, oh, okay. And
well, that they think that they're gonna. He finds their hideout, right, and he's gonna take them all to jail.
Yes.
But the convoy is attacked by Reyes's men.
Yes.
And so Vince gets killed, and basically his whole team gets killed. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, all right, screw it. Let's hit him where it hurts, and let's take his money, and we'll kill him. And then he gets a chance to kill him.
Yeah. And so he teams up with Dom and his team, and then they get away, they get the safe and everything, and Hobbs and Elena, Hobbs is like, okay, well, you need to leave the safe with me, and Brian and Dom are like, okay, cool, and they walk away or drive away or something like that, and then like Hobbs opens the safe, and he's like, what the hell?
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then we find out it's the safe that like
They bought a
had
practice
switched
safe
it
to work on.
with the practice safe they were working on, and they switched the real safe out, so they stole all this money, and now it's their money.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Well, it's a heist.
It is a heist, and they get the money in the end.
What's this movie about?
I mean, again, it's about family, but it's about like, I think working as a team too, and like,
this is the birth of. I know there was a team, like a crew in the first one. But
yeah,
this is the birth of the
crew,
team, and also the start of it being about like international espionage and not street racing.
Right, right. Like, I mean,
what if James Bond was a car?
Yeah, right. I mean, you see all these movies or videos that like joke about, well, you know, I was a street racer, so of course I know about espionage.
Yeah, of course
like,
I can crack safes in a database.
Well, their skills, it just keeps getting more and more ridiculous. Like, well, what? Wait, Ludacris can crack safes, and then like later on he has all these other skills, and and it's like, well, where did he find all the time to learn all these different skills? Oh, don't worry about it, you know?
So at the end of the film, we learn, because they get Eva Mendes out of mothballs, and she shows up to Hobbs and says, do you believe in ghosts? And it seems like Letty is still alive.
Is alive!
This is also the first time that we have, there's just no way. You killed this person. They're dead.
Yep.
But they're just alive.
Come back.
Why not?
It's
got shot in the face.
I've heard like the Fast and the Furious films described as being kind of soap opera-y. And
sure.
I think that that's true, because people die in soap operas all the time, and then they bring them back, you know?
Yeah.
So all it's missing is somebody going, oh, it's you, and like fade away, and then you have to come back and see who it is.
Right.
But, okay, so now we're on, I feel like we're going through these very slow.
Fast and Furious 6.
Yeah. What happens
This is the
this
one. This is not a great title, because we had Fast and Furious, and this is Fast and Furious 6. But this is like the one that we ate all the sin of the other titles. If this one has a bad title, we can continue to make all the other titles
be awesome.
Cover the gamut of titles.
Yeah, right.
This one has to be Fast and Furious 6. Yeah. Sorry.
Right.
It's too soon we couldn't do Furious 6.
No.
We had to do Furious 7.
Right.
This is Fast and Furious 6.
Yes. I don't remember.
Okay. All right, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Everybody's rich.
Right.
And they're all having a good time.
Yeah.
But Hobbs there's a Russian military convoy is hijacked or destroyed by Owen Shaw, who is a special forces guy that's gone rogue.
Right.
And Hobbs needed to catch him, and to catch him, he's going to need Dom and his crew.
Of course.
And to get Dom on board, he shows him the picture of Letty.
Right.
To say she's out there somewhere, and she's working for this guy.
And Dom is with Elena at this point,
yes,
isn't he?
Dom and Elena are going out.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to park his car somewhere.
Oh, my God.
So a lot of it takes place in London.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they try to trap Shaw, but he's got a ramp car. It's basically a Formula One car that's got it's got a steel or like a ramp on the front, so he can like flip other cars with it.
Oh, right.
He's got the anti-car car.
Yes.
And that theme continues when we learn that Letty is only one part of his crew, which is made up of dark reflections of Dom's crew.
Kind of seems
it's not
like
a one-to-one thing.
No.
But they got a big guy.
Yeah.
They got a hacker.
Yeah, right.
They got a Letty.
Right. They do have a Letty.
Yes, and she is amnesiac.
Yeah.
As we find out when Dom tries to talk to her and she shoots him.
I know!
But he's Dom DeTretto, so that doesn't slow him down.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So, wow, I really don't remember this.
A lot of goofy stuff happens in London. I think they go to Battersea the power plant, the cover of the Animals, the Pink Floyd.
Yeah, right.
And he tries to tell her who he is. Then Shaw shows up, and it's basically like, you better walk away. He's
right.
like, I'm giving you a chance to walk away, or you're in trouble. And then there's some kind of computer chip they need. Yeah, this one kind of, I don't remember a lot from this one. There's a tank. They have to get the chip.
Yes.
And so they find out that he's got a tank. So they do that thing on the divided highway, where the tank's on one side, and they got to chase the tank.
Yeah, there's this huge car chase.
Right.
And
then they do the thing where Letty is thrown off the tank, but then Dom throws himself
her
off the car, and he catches her, and that's like one of the things that makes her go like, oh, okay, this guy, maybe I can trust this guy.
Yeah, right.
Because he can break the laws of physics. And they capture Shaw, but then he's captured Mia. He takes Mia hostage, right?
Yeah, right.
And so they've got to get Mia, and they've also got to kill Shaw, and he gets on. This is when we get the plane. So they're all chasing this plane down a runway that just, this lasts 15 minutes.
Yeah, I forgot. The plane is the most ridiculous part of this film.
Right. And so, and so the whole time, like, they're trying to get on there. Dom headbutts a guy to death.
Yep.
And they rescue Mia, and they drive out of the front. They drive is it the tank? No, I think Tom just drives his car out of the front of the exploding plane.
Yep. And it's like, there you go. It's like, oh, there's Dom Toretto.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know Dodge Chargers are fire and explosion proof.
Yeah.
In this movie. And they give the chip to Hobbs. That gives them pardons. So now they're rich and essentially free. Even though Interpol wants him.
Yeah.
In F9.
Yeah.
We'll get to that someday. We got to speed this up. And then, of course, they have a meal and say grace. It's family.
Yes.
And then at the end, we see Han get killed. Only we find out that it was orchestrated.
Yes.
By that bald guy. Yeah. Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Dominic Toretto, you don't know me. But you're about to.
Yes, exactly. And I should mention, too, that Giselle and Han were kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, Giselle dies.
And, like,
and she's not coming back.
She sacrifices herself.
Maybe someday she'll come back.
Yeah, like, save him, basically. So.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
You know what it is. Furious 7.
Yes.
It's Furious 7.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about what 6 is about.
Oh, shoot. You kept me on my own thing.
Sorry.
It's about not letting go of people. What do you think?
It's about,
oh, we didn't even mention Gina Carano. And good.
Yeah, no, right. We don't leave anybody behind.
Yeah.
One of our own. And
well, we see the family element tested because they have a crew too, but our crew is a family and they're just mercenaries. Right. They don't care about each other.
Right. Who I feel bad for though is Elena. That's who I feel bad for. But whatever.
Well, she'll get over it. Furious 7.
Yes.
This is a rough one. So the movie opens with Owen Shaw in the hospital.
Yeah, oh, right.
And Deckard Shaw, played by Jason Statham.
Yeah.
They're saying, I'm gonna get him what they did to you, brother.
Yeah, right.
And then he walks out and he's destroyed the hospital, which
with his brother.
Wouldn't that make it tough to care for his brother?
Yeah, it's not.
I should mention the last movie made a lot of money. It made $788 million worldwide. This movie made $1.5 billion.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Too bad it's not very good. This, for me, I'll tell you what this is about. This is where the train leaves the tracks. This is where the movies become truly like unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree.
They just become superheroes with cars.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this quickly because there's really not much to it.
Okay.
The house blows up, right?
Yes.
Deckard Shaw starts trying to like destroy their lives, so he blows up their house.
Yep.
And Brian and Mia
are there
Brian's
with
in
their
it
kid.
Still, but Brian is his brother's most of the time. Brian is
right.
The Paul Walker died during the making of this one.
Yes.
So he's sometimes there and he's sometimes not.
Yes.
Is this also the one where he goes to prison and meets The drug lord?
Maybe.
There's
yeah.
a subplot with that, or is that the last one? That might be the last one.
Okay.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Okay.
So yeah, so Deckard Shaw is trying to kill Dom, and
Yes.
they go to his funeral. Or they go to Han's funeral.
Yeah.
And Deckard and Dom crash their cars into each other at full speed, and they're fine. And then right when there's going to be a throwdown, Spec Ops guys show up.
Yes.
Mr.
Mr. Nobody. Yeah.
Who's like going to be he's the Santa Claus of this spy game that the movies have become now.
Yeah, he's the Coulson.
And so we've got to get this. Yeah, I guess we've got to get this thing called the God's Eye. It's a computer program that allows you to track down anybody in the world.
Yep.
And for some reason, so there's this program, and then also there's the programmer that made it, a hacker named Ramsey.
Yes.
Who has been captured by Jimon Hunsu, who's a warlord.
Yes.
And terrorist. And so they parachute their cars into...
which is so weird.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
And then they go through this whole chase
Mountainous,
with
fast...
one of many train trucks in the series. When in doubt, get a train truck. And it's pretty good. Oh, that's right.
What is it?
He's a kung fu. It's a Thai kung fu guy.
Oh gosh, what is his name?
What's with me
Jha,
and names? Tony Jha, of course. Yeah, Tony Jha's in it. It's kind of underused.
Yeah.
They rescue the hacker,
Ramsey,
who is the girl from Game of Thrones.
She's a hot girl. Oh my god.
Okay, I saw that YouTube video as well.
Yeah. Well.
But the terrorist gets God's Eye, so now we're in trouble because they're going to use God's Eye.
Yeah.
To find them, right?
Yes.
Is this the one where Shaw's like, oh, Mr. Nobody got shot in the next one, right? This is his first appearance.
Oh my god. They all bleed together, I don't know.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, I know. I don't think he gets shot in this.
No. It is this one.
Oh, okay.
Because Shaw pretends like he's going to give himself up, right? And they go to the warehouse or the factory where he is, but it's a trap. And then Mr. Nobody gets shot. And
but
so
he's wearing a vest.
The team's it's fine. The team's in trouble because they have to go back to L.A. and they're like, well, we don't really know what to do now. And then Jimon Hunsu uses God's Eye to track them down. So they have to pass. Ramsey's going to hack the thing while they're driving.
Yes.
But they have to keep sort of passing her around in between the cars.
Different
this part's
cars.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Jimon Hunsu has a Predator drone that he's using to... Oh, we forgot that Shaw beats the crap out of the Rock in the beginning of the film. So the Rock's in the hospital the whole time.
Yes. And then he breaks out at the end.
Yes. And then he drives an ambulance into the Predator drone and then uses the Gatling gun from the Predator drone with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Yep.
Finally, Dom and Shaw meet in a parking garage and fight. And Dom's... The thing about a street fight, the street always wins.
I know.
And then he somehow he crumbles concrete with his bare foot.
Yep.
And then he uses his car to put some grenades on Jimon Hunsu and blows him up.
I know.
And his heart stops, but it was just taking a breather because it's back. And Letty's back too.
Her memories.
She remembers everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they
she remembers they were married.
Hobbs in a high-tech prison.
Yep.
And that's the end.
That is the end.
Oh, and they drive off, of course.
Of course.
Brian takes the exit ramp.
That was sad. Their tribute to Paul Walker.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
It's a car movie.
I know.
Iggy Azalea's in this one.
Yeah.
And T-Pain as well.
Yeah.
And in previous, I'm not going to look it up, but in previous movies, there are other pop stars. And it's like, are they just... Is this Neil Moritz going, we got to get somebody?
I think so.
Because we're going to talk about F9 someday.
I know.
And we'll see. Okay, so what's this one about?
This one is about beating the bad guys at their own game. And
Yeah, I agree. I think this is where they stop being about something.
Oh, okay.
Because really, I would say this is about revenge, but they don't kill Shaw.
No, they don't. They put him in a prison.
They just capture him.
Yeah.
Like Dom should kill Shaw, right? Because he killed Han.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't really. This one's about money, I think. This one is about making money.
Yeah, I think they recognize that Shaw, and they could bring Shaw back, and if people liked him, and
maybe this one is about serving more than yourself, because they are, even though Mr. Nobody is a kind of nefarious, amoral CIA or we don't know agent,
right?
He does call upon them to save the world, basically,
right,
and to do something bigger than themselves.
Well, that's true. It's not just about how do they get money, how do they get out of it.
Keeps them in Corona.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
This
is also the one that we have to mention. They drive, in between the skyscrapers.
So freaking ridiculous.
Just like, that's okay. That's real.
Yeah, and is this
a car's not that heavy. And the crosswinds up there, I guess if you drive at the right angle, you would get blown around a little bit, right? A plane weighs more than a car, and a plane gets buffeted by winds.
Right.
What if you flip over and then you just land in the next building upside down and you're dead?
That's just it. It's so ridiculous.
And they make the mistake, according to my rules, of establishing in the earlier scene that this car is not that heavy. Because Dom picks the car up from the front end. Now, the engine's in the back, so that's where the weight is, and it is a rear-wheel drive, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But Dom does pick the car. It is light. Yeah. It's carbon fiber, probably. It's light enough that... I mean, he's superhuman, of course.
Of course.
I'm really strong. All right. Fate of the Furious.
Yes.
This one, I'll tell you what it's about right now. It's about Charlize Theron's terrible haircut.
Oh my God. I know. I found it very distracting.
This movie made $1.2 billion.
Oh my goodness.
So slipping a little bit.
Okay. Well, Charlize Theron is the bad guy. She's Cypher, who is another hacker person, and she is, I can't remember why she's going after Dom, but she basically sets a trap for him.
Well, she's Cypher, but she's also Spectre, because she's been behind the last couple movies. We didn't know
right.
Yeah.
Right.
She hired Owen Shaw.
Yeah, which is okay. Ooh, it's just the movie writing backwards.
Remember, it opens in Havana.
Yeah.
And because, what the hell, how about some street racing?
Yeah.
Dom gets in a street race where he basically blows up the car that he's driving. But that's okay.
Wasn't one of the characters his cousin or something like that? Yeah.
Fernando.
Right. Yeah. Who never comes back.
FX.
Yeah, there you go. And Dom gives him his car at the end
No,
of
I didn't. I said it was going to be the fate of... Listen and hear me now. Fast and Furious, and the I-O in Furious will be a 1-0. We said that weeks ago.
You did say
months
that.
ago.
Yeah.
But I like the FX, though. That's funny.
I think both of them work.
Okay, this is about Dom becoming a bad guy.
Pretty much.
Cypher blackmails him into working for her.
Yep.
Against the crew.
Yep.
By, fast forward to the middle of the movie, showing him that she has Elena and his son.
Kidnapped Elena. And the baby who's with Elena is Dom's son. We find out that Elena was pregnant.
So there's an EMP device that they have to get from Berlin or something like that. They go steal it, but then Dom steals it from Hobbs, and Hobbs is like, he's gone rogue.
Right.
So we gotta get him.
So we gotta get him. And so the crew is trying to get him this whole time, and Letty's like, I don't believe it.
Letty's like, we should call Brian. And they're like, oh, we can't do that.
Yeah, right, exactly. So Brian and Mia aren't in this movie. And it all it ends with them being...
But there's shades of Triple X here, because Dom really shows his spy skills in this, remember?
Right.
Because they're going to go, now they've got the EMP, and they want to get the Russian nuclear football so they can hijack they can use the missiles on the sub they're going to hijack.
Yeah, right.
So Dom is in London, but he uses, he uses obstruction and distraction to evade CCTV cameras, and he goes, somehow he knows where Deckard's mom is going to be, played by Helen Mirren.
Right.
And he sets up a thing with her that we don't know is going to unfold until later. So in London, I think it's in London, the crew tries to get Dom.
Yes.
And he escapes because he's Dominic Toretto.
Yeah.
And we think that Deckard has been shot and he's dead. But he's not.
But that was a fake out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then we end up in Russia, where at this demobilized base, they're going to steal this sub.
Yes.
So the crew's got to stop the sub and hack it so they can't use the missiles or anything like that. The missiles
or whatever the weapons
are. We forgot to say that Cypher kills Elena.
Yeah, right.
So Dom's got to... somehow his son is on the plane.
Yep.
Dom's got to stop Cypher, and the crew has to take out the sub.
Yes.
And this is all accomplished by a little switcheroo, and Deckard and Owen arrive on the plane.
Yes.
And then kill everybody on the plane and save
the baby.
Save the baby.
Yeah.
And then, Dom, what does he do for the whole fight? He just kind of drives around. Oh, there's the...
what is it?
The guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah, the big red-haired guy. What's his name?
He's the guy who's supposed to, like, keep tabs on him. So Dom takes care of him.
Yeah, right.
And then, so the team does it. They stop the submarine.
Yes.
And they destroy it. And then all the cars cradle around Dom and protect him from a giant explosion.
Yeah, which I'm just like, what?
Yes.
And
Cypher gets away.
Yeah, she does get away.
Yes.
But I do like how, like, Deckard Shaw, like, is fighting on the plane, and he's, like, fighting all these guys with guns, and the kid is in, like, this car seat or whatever, and he's, like, talking to him and, like, protecting him and, like, throwing him around, but in, like, he's safe.
Yeah, it's a
somehow
fun scene.
Fun child endangerment.
Yeah. And so Dom finally gets his son, thanks to Mr. Nobody. And also Scott Eastwood is in it. So this, I would say, if not for the fact that nothing will ever not be about Vin Diesel, this is kind of like, this is about passing it on to the next generation.
Right.
They bring in Baby Nobody, who was not in F9, so that didn't work out. Dom has a son now.
Yeah.
Owen has reconciled with, Deckard has reconciled with his brother and his mother. Hobbs has quit the DSS to spend more time with his family, his daughter.
Yes.
This is about...
We're moving on.
Yeah. This is about growing as that family.
And we don't do the spy thing anymore.
Well, it's not that so much, but...
I guess.
I'm sure they'll do it again.
Yeah,
and
right.
They do.
And they do.
And they do. Let's skip Hobbs and Shaw. It doesn't matter. Hobbs and Shaw is... It's not very good.
It's a buddy... cop.
It's a buddy cop movie.
They hate each other.
It's not really all that great.
Yeah.
All right. This is it. Spoilers begin here. We're not actually going to say all that much because what is there to say? But it starts here. Everybody's on the poster, so no spoilers, I guess.
Yeah, right.
A lot more producers on this one. There's 7 producers on this one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Neil needed some help, I guess. It has done great. It has made, it had a budget of $200 million. It has made $400 million worldwide so far, $70 million domestic. So even for a non-pandemic, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
You always like to top that $100 million.
Yeah.
But if I went back, I bet more than half of these films did not top the $100 million in their opening weekend.
Probably not.
So I think this is right on track for this movie.
Yeah.
It's looking pretty good.
I think so.
So we've got, we start off in 1989. Yes. And when they first started in 1989, I was like, okay.
Oh boy.
So, Daddy, I want to race. Like, how much are we going to retcon Dominic Toretto's age, right?
Yeah, right.
They don't. He's
they don't.
He's a young man.
Yeah.
He's and his brother's a young man as well.
Yes.
And they are watching their father race.
Yeah.
They're part of his pit crew. And we've heard about this. I watched my father burn to death.
I know.
And we see it happen.
I know.
And we know it's him because he goes, "That's my dad."
I know. It's like, okay, movies. We get it, but it's pretty horrific.
Then what happens?
Well, there's a lot of flashbacks in this movie. Basically, Dom and Letty are living on a farm with little Brian, which is what they named the baby, or what Dom named the baby. Little Brian. And they almost blow the crew up when they are heading to their farm because they didn't tell them they were coming. Anyways,
living off the grid.
Yeah, they're living off the grid. Ludacris, Tyrese, and Ramsey show up, and they're like, "It's
job time."
Yeah, we got a message from Mr. Nobody. His plane was attacked somewhere in where was it? South America.
He off screen apparently he has captured Cypher. Cypher didn't get away.
Right.
escape the plane crash or the plane.
Yeah.
Did anybody land that plane? Cypher's plane? That was kind of a big part of it, wasn't it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Let's just
I don't
say
know
Owen,
the
Owen
answer to
landed it
that.
somewhere. Yeah. So he captured Cypher.
Yeah.
But somebody captured him. Somebody attacked their plane.
Yes.
And because him just doing it isn't enough, we see a quick freeze frame of somebody attacking Mr. Nobody.
Yes.
With the same cross. The Toretto
family cross.
So Dom's like, oh, I'm going to have to do something about this.
Yeah, right.
And so, Mr. Nobody's plane has crashed in Central America somewhere.
Yes.
In like Kriplakistan or some fake country.
So they have to go to the jungle to find this plane wreck.
And they probably just parachute because they're old hands at that now. Somehow they get to the jungle.
Yes.
And so they find
they find a plane, right?
Yeah, they find a crashed plane.
Yeah.
But they find whoever attacked the plane had designs on what was in the plane, but didn't get what was in the plane.
Because they're not great hackers
And,
like Ramsey.
A little spoiler, we don't know what happens to Mr. Nobody, and we never find out.
No, which is honestly probably the biggest hole of this film.
I don't think it's a hole. They're probably going to follow up on it, but I just think it's this sort of...
It's weird, though.
It's a gaping aperture, let's say. But they find part of a device in the plane wreck, and they're like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
What's this for?
Right, exactly.
Then they're attacked by local
Almost
military forces because this is a set in the 80s in Central America. I mean, I'm sure there's still... Area. I'm sure Hugo Chavez could send some guys out too, but
Probably.
This is just so very like Banana Republic,
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but they're attacked by an army, but that's fine. And as they're about to make their escape, guess who shows up? An empty car.
Yeah.
Because you can't see him.
Yeah.
Jacob Toretto.
Yes.
Dom's brother.
I know.
And he never mentioned.
Yep.
He loves family.
Which it's a weird thing.
And he steals the device. And he gets away thanks to a magnet plane.
Yep. It just gets weirder.
We follow Jacob back to his hideout where he's working with a guy named Otto. Last name? I don't know. Yeah. And Otto is a rich kid. I guess he's German. His father is rich and powerful, but we never learn who that is.
Nope.
Maybe that'll be a thing in the future. We don't know.
Yeah.
And he is basically paying Jacob Toretto to get these things. And then also they're going to need a key. There's two halves of this device called the Ares device.
Yes.
And a key will activate it. And I guess we learn later that anything that runs on code, it can take over. So it's an ultimate hacking device.
Yeah, right. And they also have Cypher.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was getting there.
Okay.
And they are the ones that, of course, attack the plane. So they have Cypher, and they've just got her in a Hannibal Lecter cage.
Yep.
Because they're like, we don't really know what to do with her, so we'll just keep her here for a while.
Yep, pretty much.
But of course, that is going to change later.
Yep.
Later on, they go. Dom by himself goes to London and meets with Queenie Shaw. Yeah. Who is the only Shaw family member in this movie?
I know.
And she says that she tells him where Jacob is, apparently in town.
Yeah, she's working with him, I guess.
Yeah. So Ramsey does a hacker thing and says that the other half of the device is in like Scotland. It's in Edinburgh.
Yeah, right.
So they have to go there.
Yeah.
And so they split up. Letty and Mia go to Tokyo because they've heard that Han is the key to this somehow, or is a part of this, which is really just like, all right. Yeah. And then Roman and Tej go and meet Sean Boswell.
Yep.
And Twinkie from the third movie.
I know.
That was the first movie we talked about.
I know.
And they are they're working on rockets. Like they have a rocket propelled car for some reason.
Yep. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. So anyway, Dom runs into to Jacob and basically this is the scene where they go, stay out of my way. You stay out of my way.
Yeah, right.
And he does this thing where like Interpol shows up and takes Dom away, and it's like they had pardons.
I know. I don't understand it.
He's not. Is this something like the thing that he did in Fate of the Furious? He wouldn't have been cleared for that.
Oh no! You know what? I
guess he still did that stuff.
No, you know what it was.
Or was it the Montecito thing? Was it them evading a sovereign country?
No. Like in this movie, Dom goes to Otto's dad's place, and his dad has all these connections, and his
No, I know. Oh, so you're just saying that like somebody set him up basically, because I know
set him up.
I know he says in that scene, but the implication was you're a wanted international criminal, so we just called Interpol and said we've got Dominic Toretto here.
No, that's not what happened.
But that would make more sense than John Cena holding a gun to Dominic Toretto's head, Dominic Toretto defending himself, and then Cena or Otto going, "Oh, this is a part of Germany, so you're against me in Germany. I'll go get him."
Yep. Well, that's what it is, though.
It's dumb, and it only serves to get Cardi B into the film.
Yep.
So we're probably going to cut it out. What about some chase where he goes, "Well, you're my brother, but you're in my way. Get him." And they just sick 12 Special Forces guys on him.
Sure.
Although we'll learn later that 200 Special Force guys can't stop Dom Toretto.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense.
So he escapes.
Yep.
They somehow get oh, that's right. So then we go to Edinburgh, and we're going to do this whole movie. They go to Edinburgh because it's there.
Yeah.
And John Cena's already there. They didn't see him. He was already there. He's got the thing. And his plan is, I'm going to zip line through all of Edinburgh.
Yep.
Starting, by the way, from the palace, right? The castle.
Yeah, right.
So that's a big zip. Because that thing's up on a thing, right?
Yeah,
that's
right.
up on a mountain thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's going to zip all the way through. Tej and Ramsey and Roman need to find something. They're there to look for something.
I can't remember.
They need to find the key. They don't actually know what they're looking for. They just have to find the key or whatever.
Yeah.
But they find out that randomly that there's a truck with an electromagnet in it, which is causing. It's funny because it's so weaponized. It's such an ineffective weapon, and all they were using it for was just to like interrupt cell phone signals or whatever.
Yes, and like video camera signals. Yeah.
So they see Otto, and he takes off to go pick up John Cena.
Yeah.
And so they have to follow him, but they're busy fighting 4 guys in the back of the truck. So Ramsey has to drive the truck in a fun little sequence where we learn what the electromagnets can do.
Yeah, and it is fun. And
then Dom tracks down basically on the third zip line.
Yeah.
He hits Cena, and they end up in a clothier's.
Yeah.
Where they fight each other which is like, okay.
I know.
I don't think it's supposed to say anything.
No, I don't think so either.
And there's no guy who's like getting fitted for like a white dinner jacket and he's like, oh my word.
No. There's nothing like that.
Because James Bond is Scottish.
Yes. Mia's in this film too because
yes.
Because Jacob.
Yes, they have a
film.
secret hideout that was Mr. Nobody's hideout, I guess.
Yeah.
That's where they hang out.
Yeah, right.
So I said Mia before.
Oh, you did.
Letty and Mia go
to
Tokyo.
Yes.
And they're having a conversation, and it's actually like 90% Bechdel proof. It's 2 women.
Yeah.
In the second act of their lives, talking about their lives. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
But because we can't have nice things, and these movies are for dumb people, Letty's like, she sees a Mexican flag hung in a window.
Oh my God.
She's like, Mexico. First of all, did we see that postcard in any other film?
No, I think this is the first.
Okay.
We see Dom looks at it at the beginning of the movie.
Right, so the postcard is already there, and it's from Mexico. Yeah. And then later, Letty sees a Mexican flag and goes, Mexico. Han always said, because remember, he was always saying that his place where he was going to lie low was Mexico. It's like, what are you talking about? You're making this all up out of whole cloth.
He sent Dom. Dom got this postcard the day that Han died.
So we've got the audience has the postcard.
Yeah.
And we can infer that Letty saw the postcard. But Letty also has to have this speech about how Han always said that like he would hide out in Mexico or whatever.
He never said that, did he?
I don't think so.
No, we never heard that.
No, he's always talking about going to Tokyo.
Yeah.
So it's not enough that just seeing a flag, which could be anywhere in the world, not just in the country that you're in.
Yeah.
It's not enough that inspires her to look somewhere else. No, clearly he's living in that apartment up there.
Yeah, I know.
Good thing we stopped at this noodle shop.
right here.
Yeah.
I know. It's
So
a
they
little
go in,
convenient.
so they just break into that apartment. I don't know what they expected was going to happen.
I know.
And also 6 special forces guys break into the place too.
I guess
that
they
are working
were
for Otto.
watching them
Yeah,
or something?
Maybe. So
I
they have
mean-
a knockdown, drag out fight, and they're joined by a new character.
Yes.
Remember, we're passing it on to the future.
Yeah. Her name is Elle.
I guess.
Yeah.
Her name is Elle.
Yeah.
And she is a stone cold badass in this scene,
I know.
but in none of the other scenes.
I know.
She's just a prisoner and a hostage.
I don't like it.
But they kick everybody's ass, and then they are about to leave, and Letty rides a guy out of a window.
Yeah.
Letty doesn't have her signature cool fight scene in this one, and I'm a little depressed about that.
Yeah.
But she fights a little bit in this.
Yeah.
Mia gets some shots in. Letty rides this guy out of the window. They get surrounded. It looks bad, and they're all shot by a sniper.
Yes.
And it's not enough to just go, well, I think we know who this is. They have to just show his face.
Of course I do.
So it's Han. Han's alive.
I know.
And also has wicked sniper skills now, I guess.
Because, he used to race cars. So.
Okay, don't take other people's jokes. It's not cool. Later on, he explains to everybody that Mr. Nobody rescued him from the wreck, and so I guess we can assume that he's been working for Mr. Nobody and getting sweet spy skills.
But we don't. He says that, and we see
Let's
him kind
do this.
of like.
Let's bring it home in 2 minutes.
Okay,
I bet we can do it.
We see him kind of slowly edge up, but we don't really know like how he escaped the wreck and like what he did for Mr. Nobody like afterwards. Like
You've got 2 more movies to find out.
I guess.
So-
I hope it's explained.
So anyway, he explains his whole thing. Elle also tells her story about how her parents were scientists that developed the Ares device, convenient,
Yeah.
and that she is the key because it's coded to her DNA because this is just a effing sci-fi movie now.
Yep.
And just as she's get done telling him that, John Cena comes in with all his troops because he worked out of here for years.
Well, he's in the prison. The troops come and let him out.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have mattered, would it?
No, I guess not.
2 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah, and basically they don't kill everybody
Yeah.
for some reason. Let's leave the crew alive. Got no idea why. Just kill them. Why wouldn't, even if John Cena doesn't want them killed, he leaves first. Why wouldn't Otto just be like, yeah, but we're going to kill you all though, right?
I know.
Doesn't kill them. Tej uses the electromagnet, as we all see coming 15 minutes before, to pull everybody's guns away.
Yep.
And then everybody runs. But they escape through a pipe, and to keep them safe, Dom is going to have to hold the line.
Of course he does. Yeah.
Even though Letty just watches him do all this and then comes back.
I know.
So I guess Dom killed everybody. Dom fights 20
think so.
guys. They're all crushed by concrete, but Dom's fine. And
Dom's
has a
fine.
Dream where he realizes that Jacob was acting under his father's orders when he nicked the fuel line in order to throw a race.
Yes.
And then presumably the guy who Dom killed, they fold together. The bid that Dom did was for the guy that he killed. That guy was the guy that got his dad killed in the race.
Yes.
And we don't know who. I just presume that he paid him for the win.
Yeah, that's what I presume.
Just because as long as we're folding things together.
Yeah.
Let's just have that driver be on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
And just do the whole thing. 9/11, the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So basically, he wakes up from this dream of the past and he's fine. Somehow
He's safe.
Somehow Michelle Rodriguez pulled a 250-pound man out of a pool of water. And they say, it doesn't mean anything without you.
Yeah, I need you.
So now it's time to bring it home.
Yeah.
We have a train truck. And we've got to stop this train truck.
I know.
But there's another part. You see, even though you could totally just... Well, you could kill Elle, but it's too late. We've lost her.
Yeah, no.
You could destroy the truck and rip the Epcot ball off the thing.
Yep.
But there's a satellite too.
Yeah.
And so somebody, as a safeguard, is going to have to go after that satellite. And that means that Roman and Tej are going to space.
I know. I love it.
So they get a modified Ford Fiero. They go to space. And I don't even want to talk about it because it's just ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous. And they talk about how ridiculous it is, which just doesn't really make it any less ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense because so they have a hard time fighting this train truck. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, John Cena they're like, hey, John Cena, go check this thing. We got a problem. And he goes up there, but then the big henchman, who they don't really introduce, he seemed like an interesting guy.
Yeah.
Is like, no, actually, I'm going to kill you. We're betraying you.
Yeah, right.
Beats paying the bill.
Yeah.
And so now John Cena's good because they weren't going to pay him. I don't know.
I know.
So he's on their side now. And so they basically they take over the train truck and they go to the thing and it's right there and it's still uploading. They can't smash it. Like, what is uploading?
I don't know.
None of it makes
it's
any
unclear.
sense. But basically, Tej and Roman, the two black guys, are like, well, I guess it's on us. I guess we're going to sacrifice ourselves.
I guess we just do whatever.
Because they're afraid if they destroy they run through the satellite, it'll break their ship.
Yeah.
But it all works out, even though they planted a million things that somebody was going to die because they talk about being invincible.
Yeah, they do.
And that's about it.
That is about it.
That's about it. We don't see Tej and Roman somehow find their way to the International Space Station.
I know.
and Elon Musk pays for them to come home, I guess.
Yeah. And somebody...
Oh, and we forgot to mention that Cypher teams up with Otto.
Yep.
Once that's where the whole double cross comes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cypher pilots a jet. We don't know it's a drone. And that was a pretty good
it was.
thing.
Pretty good
and
fake
pilots
out.
the magnet jet to try and kill Dom.
Yeah.
But it's hard to blow up a reinforced train truck.
Yep.
And then Dom maneuvers the train truck so that the back end of it whips out and hits the plane right at the right time.
Yep.
Which is even worse than Rock driving the ambulance off the bridge to crash the Predator jet. Seems like this is like the Transformers, isn't it? Jets are the natural enemies of cars.
Yeah, right.
But Dom settles the score as far as that goes.
Uh-huh.
And then they all eat dinner and Brian shows up, but we don't see Brian.
We don't see Brian. Wait, did they get Cypher at the end? I don't remember.
No, she is free.
She's free, yeah.
And she's in charge of, Otto's gone, so she's theoretically in charge of his organization.
Well, that's true. Does that mean she has all of his money, I wonder?
Hey, Mr. Otto.
Yeah, right.
Do you need a daughter?
Yeah, right.
Sure, I'll get a haircut.
Yeah, oh my God.
What's this about? Go.
God.
This one really is about trying to give it to the next generation, right? But it's also about remembering where you came from because we bring literally everybody back.
We do.
Eva Mendes does not make an appearance.
No, but...
nor does Luke Evans, and he never will, I don't think.
No, and they're not going to bring Elena back.
Yeah, and Gal Gadot comes back in archival footage.
Sure. I mean, Han comes back, which is huge. I mean, this is about family, but this is also about, I think this is about honoring who you are. And like maybe Dom and Letty, will always kind of be a part of them, even if though they want a better life for Brian, this is what they want. But I don't know.
Yeah,
they're rebuilding the house.
It's a little fuzzy because they're trying to hide, and they make their son literally hide. And they're like, boy, this is a rough life for a kid. Let's keep doing it.
I know.
But they're going to own who they are. That's what I was
trying to get to.
They're going to own who they are. They move back to LA and maybe they're going to keep doing spy stuff, but they're going to be who they are. And Michael Rooker is in it, but he'll never come back.
Who did he play in it?
He was the mechanic guy. Tell you, Dom.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes you got to close a door before you open a window.
You know, you cut him off from family. That's tough for
Corona,
Toretto.
your favorite.
Yeah, right. Is that why
Corona is just beer in this universe. All beer is Corona.
Is that why he loves Corona? Because this one mechanic?
Maybe this movie doesn't think like that.
I wish it would. Like, this one mechanic, that's the first beer he ever had, and he just didn't try anything else. That's what...
I guess.
Just Corona forever.
I guess.
There's no talk... Maybe this doesn't matter. Hand waving. There's no talk about, like, who's watching... Oh, no, I guess there is. I guess little Brian is staying with big Brian. But, like, we don't see Mia and Brian's kid at the end. Like, what is Brian bringing him? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't matter, but...
Yeah, he was never really a character.
I guess.
Would you recommend any of these movies?
I think they're fun. I mean...
This was not 3 hours. We were promised 3 hours.
Yeah,
we were. More like 2.5, 2 and 3/4.
Did they cut it down then?
Yeah, they must have.
Okay. Because it didn't feel like 3 hours. I would recommend them. I think that they're fun popcorn movies. What do you want? I mean, don't go into this expecting physics and reality and stuff like that. But just if you want something fun to watch.
You know what you like. You are watching them if you're watching them. You're not if you're not. Although if you're not and you think you're too good for them, you're not.
No.
You should check them out.
I mean, it's like they're superheroes with cars.
Yeah. And personally, I can't wait for Fast and for tennis. Well, that's our show for this week. Hopefully somebody got something out of that. But if not, there's always next week. And until then, you can find us on your social media platforms, the ones that you use, wherever they are. We're at Just Enough Trope, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the whole thing. Yes. Find us and listen to us on your favorite listening platform. Yep. Subscribe to us. Give us a rating and a review. We really appreciate it. Give us 5 cans of NOS. If there's enough of these movies, I'm going to get it someday.
The NOS?
The voice.
Oh, get the Vin Diesel voice.
Maybe I should Maybe I should watch The Iron Giant or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we'll just do 5 stars instead. But we'll be back next week to not talk about car movies. And until then, we're signing off. I'm your host Caliban.
I'm your co-host Mikan Hana.
Keep the geek fires burning.